Hey, what's up, Carl? Can you hear me all right? That always goes back up. Why do you do that? Stop that. Can you hear me now? Alright, I think everything's good here. We'll see, keep tabs on it. Let me fund the other socials. Alright, I'm here. I'm just getting the word out. And if you're wondering, bird is the word. Oh no, okay. Just making sure everything's picking up alright. I hope, let me see, is that not working properly? Let's see. Alright. We'll see how this goes. Doesn't seem like I'm losing frames, but, well, yeah. We'll keep an eye on it. Alright, so, today's mission is I want to finish this outpost. And unfortunately, it's only an outpost because I wanted to start small. And so the way this works is when you claim a system, you have 4 weeks to get it done. Yeah, you have a whole 4 weeks to get it finished, which should be plenty of time, but it's still, it's still a deadline and life can happen and stuff like that. So my way around that is to and I think a lot of people have started doing this, is to build an outpost that doesn't take as many resources. That way you can lock that system down. Now, I do want to check something because apparently there is an issue. There's a current known issue. Okay, that's where I'm going. See, I don't know what's up with that. So that's fine. Let's see what that looks like. Can we get into that, please? So we're gonna have that issue, huh? Okay. Now, see, I don't know. Yeah, see, I don't know what's up with that. I'm a little bit over halfway. I need a bunch of steel, titanium, and the insulating membranes are going to be the problematic ones, I believe, because everywhere I've gone to grab them, they've only had like 2, and as you can see, I need 326, so it's going to take me at least like I don't know the math. I should know that one. 163. I'm gonna have to make that many trips, going back and forth. So that'll be fun to make all those many trips. Might as well bring a Sidewinder. So, all right, let's. We can at least actually. Let me see. I need to use Inara. So Inara. Let's see. Data. I need commodities. No, I need I should know this one. 80 sector VPC A14. VPCA 13. Oh, that's. There we go. Alright. Large pad. I can't see. I can't currently see if anybody's posting anything. I'm looking something. You know, let's go with any. That's causing me issues. All right, so where is it? Insulated thingamajigs. But you said you have them. Why are you even on the list if you don't have them? Oh, it's because, okay. Because I forgot to change that part. Here we go. You see, you're gonna only have two, ain't you? No, you're gonna have one. What about carriers? Are there any carriers that have them? Are there any carriers that are gonna have them? Really? No carriers with them? That is. We go with you got huh? How many light years away are you? Where was that? Where was that? Where was that? You're a bit of ways out. Alright, let's check that out. Let's go ahead and make a jump to that. And then let me go ahead and resort that out. Alright. Sorry if I did not see anything that was posted. Oh, I probably should click back on that, so, you know. Alright, so, the plan is to... I also need water, but I need the insulated, actually... Let me check out what I need here. I need 326. Uh, 26. Alright. And then hopefully they have other stuff there. I'm not so much worried about that other stuff. Oh, that's not what I want. Alright, cool. It's gonna be a bit of a trip, so let's get to it. And I hope I read that right. You know. Alright. I do need to... I do need to pull this up. Oh, lady. Alright, so we... Oh, here we go. Now, let's do that since I gotta speed up. How many jumps is it? 3? Yeah. Friendship drive charging. Bravo Delta plus 12 8 110. I don't know what that means. I know not what it means. Alright. I'm going on a trip on my favorite rocket ship. Also, there might be some breakage going on because I do, if I remember correctly, there is an issue with turning stuff in. No, I think it's starting new constructions, but I'm not 100% sure. I will keep up with it. There we go. That took forever. Rajung. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think I knocked it out of the park. 2 more jumps. Ah. Boy. Let me, oh, we're gonna take another long minute to jump, huh? Oh. Let's go ahead and honk. There's the exclusion zone. There you are. I probably should have double checked to see what the station was called. Ostrander? I'm gonna pretend that I'm gonna nod and pretend that makes sense to me. Please tell me, yes, this one. This isn't a colonized system, is it? Let's see. No, okay, so yeah, it's the developers made it. Oh, you're a bit of a ways out there, ain't you? I love how the way the Super Cruise works. It basically kicks you really fast, and it, like, you basically have to go into a gravity well to even slow down even a little bit. Without it, like if you have it at full throttle. And of course, if this actually has what I need, I only need to make one trip here. I don't have to make a bunch of jumps going here unless someone already bought all this stuff up. I see Toyota sitting there watching. Is that actually Toyota, or is that a clone account? I don't think I'm good enough to be sponsored. But if you do sponsor, I'll take a Supra. Ah, I scared them off. Let's see if the I don't think I have the thing here. Do I have this plugged in? No. Okay. I don't think I have it plugged in. I think I need it plugged in before I even try to do that. I do need a new web camera at some point. But yeah, so we're here to get insulating membranes. Insulating membranes. Ooh, you're moving pretty quick. Lag. Ooh. Oh, there it is. There's a sound effect.
Lincoln, Kilo Yankee Romeo. Please ensure you follow standard docking procedures before landing.
Yeah.
Access granted. Cleared for landing on pad 40.
40, huh? doing this by hand. I probably shouldn't be doing this by hand because it's a Type 9. I think it's pretty big and bulky. I don't care.
Scan detected.
You are approved for
Yeah.
docking.
Say park in a truck.
Docking successful. Engaging docking restraints. Station
All right.
services are at your disposal.
And I turn that stuff in. Yeah, get some of that money. Insulating membranes. I can actually get all that I need. I need, what, 326? Do you have water? No water? Oh well, whatever. But you do have steel. Oh, you have plenty of it. Alright. That'll be alright. It just means water will be the last thing that I need. Alright. Let's go back to this place. Interesting. So it's doing that thing. That's interesting. Worst case scenario, I'll just make the trips and drop everything off at my fleet carrier, and then just kind of hold on to it till then. I'm gonna go out that way.
Scan detected.
These are all refineries. Interesting.
Frameshift drive charging.
You are clear of station restrictions. This is traffic operation. Signing off.
So I don't exactly have a backup plan. If nothing else, I can go. I can just go do some mining in back at home, back in one of my. I can see what platinum prices are and do that for a little bit in the Lee Young Roy space. I don't see exclusion zone. Where is the exclusion zone? There we go. Edenesis. Or Edensis. Edensis. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna do that.
Drive charging.
4 jumps. And I think I have. Yeah. I have, what is it? 4 heat sinks Yeah, this thing wasn't necessarily built for multiple trips like that. Hello. Yeah, I get we're back to hilariously mispronouncing system names. This one's called Hello. Is this a one with a system in it? Oh, okay, no, I see it. That's weird, okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
I wish I knew how to get the clock app thing working properly. Is that coming up yet? You're just gonna take forever, ain't you? You're just gonna take forever, ain't you? Don't go to the light, it's so beautiful! This is, let's see if I'm gonna get a particular, error message. At least it looks pretty. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna... Okay.
Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
I was about to try and see how many light years away it was, and I forgot that it basically tells you when you select your target. 'Cause I'm so smart. Like, I'm gonna be spending the majority of I'm gonna be spending the majority of the stream in hyperspace. It looks like. Not Super Cruise, hyperspace. And for anyone who asks, who may not be familiar, hyperspace and supercruise are different in the sense that supercruise, you're just moving kind of fast. It's like going on a regular interstate versus a racetrack. That's the difference. That's the difference. That's probably the best analogy too. Yay! Why are you saying it's unexplored? Ooh, I almost flew right into that. I should have had this. Oh, this might be a different system. Never mind. Yeah, it is a different system. Never mind. Because the system I was thinking of was like barely 5 light years away from mine.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah. See if I can drop this stuff off. Are you gonna try and yank me out? Oh wait, I don't know why I'm getting that close. I don't think you're gonna yank me out.
Warning. Breach. Entity. Safety limits.
Hey Maggie, how you doing? Good to see you. Nice to see you. Nice. Yeah, that's what it feels like after last night's storms. It must have been really wet, or when I left this morning, must have like just freshly rained, because like there were puddles that would imply that the rain was either recent or really heavy. I kind of dozed off when as it started to get really bad, which meant that if there were any tornadoes, they weren't going to be particularly bad, just because. Yeah, I figured it wasn't going to be bad. F1's not too bad. I mean, it's still kind of gnarly because we're getting into what 3rd or 4th of March, but I mean, it is Oklahoma. Like, people want to, be like, "Oh my God, we got tornadoes in March," and I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, I was expecting worse. That's just because my shoulders were hurting pretty bad, and usually they only hurt pretty bad when stuff is gonna get pretty bad. Oh yeah, Cusco's poison. The poison specifically chosen to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison. Yeah, but like tornado doesn't the season doesn't really start until like later in March. Usually like the latter half. That's usually when it starts, because usually it's too cold by like we usually don't warm up until maybe the middle or end of March, maybe into April. So but we are in a La Nina year, so we're gonna have a early warm spring and an early cold winter. Well, so our season start. We have 2 seasons. we have the peak season, which is March through June, and then there's a little bit of a break that basically the end of June until hurricane season starts, and then we'll have a mini one based on how active the hurricane season is, and that usually goes between the peak of it's usually mid-September, mid-October. For the most part, it usually dies off before that. Can I turn all this stuff in? I can turn the stuff in. Yay. Alright, so that leaves me needing water, steel, and titanium? Yeah. And of course, it doesn't really matter what time of year it is, because nature, if she wants to throw a tornado on Christmas, she will. Alright, so I need what? 384 tons of water? That's a ton as in TONNES. Because, this game is weird like that. I'm gonna write that down. 380 for, and then I can just grab the rest as it goes. I'm doing a bit of a research redo. Oh, I already have that up. So yeah, I already have that one logged in. Anyways, what are you up to, Maggie? You dealing with the kiddo? Alright, VAS. Vasak. Sounds Klingon. Not that I know Klingon, it just sounds like what I imagine Klingon would sound like. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm building an outpost. The last Wednesday was the start of the Trailblazers for Ginger Snap. Is that what you're calling them? Ginger Snap? Or is that a place? Yeah, so they added Trailblazers, which allows players to essentially colonize otherwise unsettled systems. And of course, right? You gotta have a lot of nicknames for the kiddos. But basically you call on a carrier, you have to get so many materials to that carrier, and then you claim that system. You have like 4 weeks to do it, which I'm a little over halfway, which I could probably finish it this evening or later this week. Either way, it'll be done by the end of this week. I need Rollin port, I believe. But not Ted. Is it because of that Seth MacFarlane show or movie? Yeah, I've actually been doing it by myself. That's just for an outpost. I'm kind of doing what everyone like most people are doing, is going for the outpost first and then building other stuff after, because everything else you build after that doesn't have a time limit. So like if you want to take an entire year to build an asteroid base, then you can do that. Although I might have to revise how I plan on building up the system, but we'll see how this goes. That's fair. Ted is also just kind of it is a weird name, Ted. It's like Ed too. It's just like I would never like if someone was just like, his name was Edward or something like that. Eddie would be fine. Ed would just be, yeah. So I get it. space station jump scare. That's a big one.
Lakon, Kilo Yankee, Romeo. This is Federal Flight Control. You're clear for approach. Ensure you submit a request before touching down.
Look at that, it's a water world. It's Camino. Alright.
Okay,
Wait, what?
you are go for approach to pad 10. Acknowledge command.
Eon Hood.
Assistant docking.
Eoin Hood. Some of these names, man. No, probably my favorite thing about this game is the names that pop up as NPCs. You will find real names and fictional names, right? So so for instance, I have seen. Well, actually, there's a space station. I will show you. There's a George Lucas space station, and of course it's in the Alliance territory, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, it's in Alliance territory. Yeah. There's some other weird names. I've seen Wedge Antilles a few times, but the funniest ones are the adult actress names, if you know what I mean. And I have to do a double check, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm being shot at by Lexi Bell or something like that, and I'm like, and of course, then I have to admit that I know who that is. I think that was the last one I saw was Lexi Bell, and I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it. I mean, I listen to Avenue Q. I need 384. 384. Alright, do you have any titanium or you don't have anything else for me? But why? ¿Por qué me haces esto? Why don't you have things for me? Can I? That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That's not going to work. Let's check that out. Can I not? Are you broken, game? Let me get out of this menu. I'm seeing if I need to pick up anything else while I'm here. Oh, so the system maps are just not working right now. Okay. That's interesting.
Docking clamps retracted. Regulate speed until outside the exclusion zone.
Alright, back to that. No, that's not the thing. That's not the thing I wanted. There we go. Yeah, so, for whatever reason... What's that? Oh, I forgot I have Nightbot. But yeah, so for whatever reason... Did I make the thing? No, I didn't even make I didn't set a destination. ¿Por qué?
Scan detected.
We've got some moderate traffic around the facility, Commander. Regulate your speed.
Someone trying to shoot at me? Is someone trying to shoot at me?
Frameshift drive charging.
Meow. No. Apparently. Oh, I can't see that. Interesting. Yeah, for whatever reason, my ship's name is starred out down here. It's not starred out anywhere else, just here. And that's Kanaloa. It's the Polynesian god of the sea and trade. My guess is because a particular 4-letter word is mixed in there, and sensors can't tell the difference between a word within a word and a word separate of the word within a word.
Heat sink deployed.
Alright. Let's see if I get yanked out of hyperspace. Or someone tries to, anyways. Apparently it says it's windy. Or wait, do you know if we're supposed to get any more stuff this tonight? I mean, it looks like we got some rain just a little bit ago. Let's see. Let's see what the weather's doing around here. Oh, it looks like a little bit of rain at 20% chance. Supposed to get cold again for a little bit. I think it's nice next week. 70 is mid 70s all week. Yeah. Oh, how come the weather be windy? I tell people when I pick what is that? When I pick people up from the airport and they're from Chicago, I always tell them, "Well, welcome to the actual windy city of America. We only let you have the title because we get the loud city." I also know that I don't remember what bill it was. I haven't I don't remember what the number one is. State question. It's like 1 digit 35 or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it's essentially adding licensure to storm chasing, and a lot of people are misunderstanding it. They're adding a license to professional storm chasers, people that are affiliated with the National Weather Service, NOAA, and the news stations. And they don't necessarily have to be affiliated with it. They could just be approved by them, if you will. And these individuals will be allowed to. Hey, could you get rid of that? They'll be allowed to put certain. They'll be allowed to put certain equipment on their car that they wouldn't otherwise illegally be allowed to, such as front-facing red and blue lights. They'll be allowed to essentially behave as emergency vehicles, much like an ambulance or fire truck. The license will be about $500 down, like the first shot, and then $250 from that point forward. And it's not going to block, people that. Yeah. Is it 2426? Because I think there's another one that's that's similar to that one that I think a lot of people were wondering, but I think that one got struck down. But if that's the one that I'm talking about, essentially it's not blocking anybody. Like it's like if you want, like if for whatever reason you wanted to go down the road and storm chase, you were still free to do so. They wouldn't really be able to do anything because First Amendment and Fifth Amendment allow you to do so. They're allowing licenses so that people can do people can do it and actually be of service. So essentially, it's making it easier for the boots on the ground to get to where they need to be more effectively without having to worry about waiting behind a stoplight where nobody else is there. Now, more often than not, like if a storm chaser runs a stoplight like that, OHP is not going to deal with it unless you're going to get an a-hole cop. But I think they're removing that factor out of the equation. Alright, so now I just need a little under 4,000 pieces of steel, and I could probably just go across. Let me see. But there's this ridiculous reaction on the internet. It's like, oh well, Oklahoma's trying to ban storm chasing, and I'm like, that's not at all what's happening. Like, not even close. I don't really want to go ground side for that. Let me take that out. No and no. I'm looking for a close by station that has the stuff that I need. How far away is that? So it'll be 2 trips back. Yeah. It's kind of one of the... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Kind of one of the reasons why I've been avoiding important topics, because everyone's being so reactionary. And I usually don't want to talk about this kind of thing, but it's on my mind right now on stream. But okay. But people want to react to it emotionally without actually applying any logical thought to it. Be like, wait a minute, am I overreacting to this, or is there something more to it? But they want to, react first and then and just, make everything fit how they feel rather than actually, look at things how they are. Yeah. And, but it bugs the heck out of me because, I get it, with the way things are, well, just not even the way things are, it's just, right, people vote based on how they feel. Yeah. And so it's perfectly valid that people vote how they feel, but so many people are demonizing one another as if they're demonizing one another based on, and I this is just something I'm going to repeat until it stops. They're demonizing one another as if the other is a monster, when they're literally just human beings with different opinions. And I will iterate that I do believe that even morals, because moral is for the most part highly subjective. I understand that there are some morals that are definitely objective, because everybody, don't kill, don't steal, all that fun stuff. Treat others the way you want to be treated. I think those are as objective as they can be. But the rest of it is just like, no, that's an opinion that you happen to have that needs to be discussed before we can just accept that as a subjective fact. And now we're in a place where everyone's just like, oh well, this piece of news offends me. The thing that it's about needs to stop. And yeah, the pendulum is just going to keep swinging harder and harder each way. You're basically at a playground, and The Rock and John Cena are just throwing the ball. Eventually, the ball's just going to pop. I'm actually really proud of that analogy. because I think it hits harder than the pendulum, because the pendulum just kind of swings as it goes, whereas a tetherball it only swings as hard as it's thrown or hit. Is this a colony system? I don't think so. Is it? I need to actually scan this system at some point. A lot of data I'd be using. Can I use this? So the system map works on this end. Okay. As soon as I request for docking and get the ship on auto dock, I'll check to see if the system map from the galaxy map will cause issues again. Yeah, pretty much. I think also the word that gets thrown around a little too much is empathy. And I think a lot of people that claim to say, empathy is necessary. That also includes trying to understand people that think differently than you. And if someone thinks like, and I know this is quite literally contradicting myself, but like if someone touts, be like, oh well, someone's not being empathetic because they have a particular belief and they believe something, or they have a belief of process that of how things should work or something like that. I'll even go as far as say someone who's blatantly racist, right? Empathy means at least making at least some sort of attempt to try and understand that person, an actual understand, not just assuming, oh well, they're from Oklahoma, they must be stupid. No, it's like a friend's dad of mine, right? And I'm not in any way defending racism. There's a difference between defending and understanding. You can, it's like villains in a movie, right? You can understand how a villain can come to the conclusion that what they're doing is the right thing, and still agree that the thing that they're doing is in fact not the right thing. But you can understand. Empathy is understanding how they got to that point. Not assuming how they got to that point, but understanding how they got to that point, right? So why can't we do that for actual real human beings that we encounter on a regular basis? I didn't intend to get controversial, but we got into Oklahoma discussion, so. Oh yeah, we were talking. Oh, come on, really? Well, luckily, well, people keep buying all that up. I'm gonna have to go a little further, it looks like. I mean, so the hate and apathy thing, I don't necessarily disagree, but at the same time, like, there are people that have understandable reasons for feeling the way that they do. And again, I'm not in any way defending it. I'm just saying, there's clearly a trauma. Now, this is not for everybody. But there are people that have traumas. I should have did the thing. They have traumas that are that are learned, and so from those traumas, it's basically pattern recognition, right? They see a pattern and they make that connection. Whether that pattern is indicative of a whole, they're going based off of what they've seen, and we as humans are flawed in that manner, where we make connections that really shouldn't be made. That's just how we are, and we have to approach people like that in that way. Be like, okay, cool. Now we know why. How do we, help them through that trauma? Although I will say, again, contradicting myself, there are some people that I believe, I think empathy is, the second chance thing, right? You give them a chance to, or you give yourself a chance to understand their position. Give them a chance to help you understand their position, and then from that point, help them if they're willing to make those changes. And then from that point, if they refuse to change, that's where that's where empathy has brought you. You can't do anything for them. But a lot of people aren't even making that first effort, and to me, I think that's a big problem, because they're just writing off. Say, for instance, there are literally people all up and down Twitter saying, or X, whatever, I don't care. They're saying, anyone who voted for Trump is immediately racist, misogynist. We did this in 2016, and it's like, no, yeah, I'm not going to get into the logistics of the election. There were two options. There should have been more, but there were effectively two options. And people want to frame how people voted in such a negative light, instead of thinking about all the possibilities that could have gone wrong, that may or may not just be racism, misogyny, or other form of bigotry. It's like, what's his name? Jonathan Pye said, some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. And of course, you got the people that, that voted for Trump because of other things, for whatever reason. I mean, Kamala Harris was not really a great choice. She's basically Hillary 2.0. That's a different story. But there were people that just didn't really like her as an option, and it had nothing to do with her skin color or her sex, gender, whatever. It had everything to do with the circumstances around her nomination, or the fact that she has a pretty sketchy past in of herself. And so, a lot of people can have opinion. No, I think the worst part, the worst case of it, was most commonly when Obama was president. I didn't care for him, right? I gave him a chance when he was first elected. I was, all right, cool, because I didn't like what's his name? I didn't like McCain either. I was under the belief that McCain was essentially, recycled Bush. But, I was like, I didn't like the way Obama handled the Middle East. I didn't like the requirement for the penalty for not having health insurance on my taxes or whatever, right? There's a bunch of reasons why I didn't like him. Violating international airspace to supposedly knock out, bin Laden. But anytime that I would say I don't like Obama, the question immediately, almost every single time that I said something like that, the immediate question was, why? Because he's black. And at that point, yes. Now, not for any racist reason, but because for whatever reason, these people would feel that because he has a different skin color than every other president that's been in office thus far, he must be infallible and can do no wrong. As far as I'm concerned, I'm calling out their racism by being like, why do you assume that this person can do no wrong? Why would you assume that someone can not like them because of their skin color? There's plenty of reasons to not like somebody. And it bugs the heck out of me because it's dumb assumptions. I wish they would get rid of like this entire list. 59%. Yeah. Oh. I probably should have looked at the supplies on this. There we go. I also argue that I also argue that sometimes there's such thing as too much empathy. Something that I say on a regular basis lately is the reason why we have a lot of problems in this world is either people care too much or don't care enough. Yeah, but just because anti-blackness is, in a lot of our systems, just because the systems default to that doesn't necessarily mean the people will default to that. Because I mean, people are changing now as we speak. But it slows down the progress when Martin Luther King says people should be judged by the color of their character, not the color of their skin. Okay, cool. I'm judging somebody by the I'm practicing what he preaches, but other people, especially his staunch supporters, were like, well, you don't like him, you must be racist, which means they're more concerned about the color of his skin than the color of his the content of his character. And that bugs me, because that's not how it's supposed to be. Let's try this again. You're a little ways out. I can do a few jumps for that. Alright, let's do Saga. Not to be confused with Sega. I think I was going to Saga for something else not too long ago. Why does that sound familiar? Yeah, I don't know why. Anyways, yeah.
Docking gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
Oh. I'm actually surprised the clock app hasn't knocked me off since I've been kind of going on this tangent. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, I can't really agree or disagree with that one, because I mean, for many people, yes. For many people, no. I think assuming like, well, actually, no. Yeah, but assuming that because someone voted a certain way, that they're you know, they think a particular way. I mean, it's that one Harry Potter meme with Voldemort and what's her name, the really prissy chick, the one always in pink, Umbridge, right? You're picking between those two. That's how it was in 2016. That's how it was now. And neither, it's just like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Frameshift drive charging.
And I don't know. And of course, there are a lot. I hate it because I don't want to end up come off as someone who's, you know, support, you know, defending a Trump supporter, but they're, you know, voting for someone is not inherently
System scan.
necessarily support, especially in a, you know, system where there aren't really any other good options or any other good viable options. Like, I voted for Chase Oliver, but I didn't like him. I thought he was kind of a problematic candidate. But I thought he was a less problematic candidate than the other two options, or other three options if you want to include Jill Stein. No. But I mean, I have a problem with like, say, you know, Oklahoma went all red, right? And everyone's just like, oh, well, look at, you know, 49th in education. It comes off as very elitist to me. That's, you know, that's guaranteed to not change any opinions, educated or otherwise. Each port, okay.
Fuel scooping.
And of course, you know,
Fuel scooping.
more statistics that, you know, get misrepresented too. Not to say that Oklahoma education's actually any better than 49th, or that much better than 49th, but it's a the statistics they use are incredibly vague and, I don't know the word, abstract. And like I said, you know, I'm not necessarily disagreeing that, you know, Oklahoma education needs work, but at the same time, we need to, you know, use metrics that actually apply. They're applicable on a regular basis, not just, oh, well, the Oklahoma and, you know, whatever number 50 was, has the lowest college educated individuals. Like, you know, we're a state that's known for trade, you know. But yeah, this is the main reason why I kind of stay away from most social media, or I change my algorithms to show me less of that stuff, just because I have to fight not to engage with most conversation, because most people engaged in the conversation aren't mature enough for it. And I think that's my issue. Is just they're just not mature. Okay, come on. Yeah, I mean, yeah, most, yeah, you're right. It is hard to converse with any of them, because on both sides, um, yeah, a lot of people who voted for Trump. I mean, I think about it, right? Um, the the way the way it's going, right? I mean, nobody wants to be called a monster, right? And so, I mean, what a lot of people didn't understand, right? The reason why Hillary, probably the main reason why Hillary lost in 2016 was, yeah, you sure you can blame the electoral college, but to be fair, she should have gone. You know, she should have actually campaigned in states that she didn't already have locked down. I'm not going to get into the electoral college. It is what it is, right? If you know what the system is, you play to the system. Don't just assume because all the polls are saying, "Oh, I'm going to win by 99%." Yeah, she had that mentality, and everybody saw it, and we were like, "Yeah, we don't want anything to do with that," right? The people in the areas that she thought were hers. But that being said, right, it also, the whole basket of deplorables, that stuff backfires, right? When you start labeling people with intentionally derogatory terms, people are going to be like, well, yeah, I might have listened to you before, but now I'm not. So it's like, there's no conversation at this point. That's why ad hominem is a bad fallacy to work with, because the moment you start attacking the character and not the argument, that conversation has locked down. It's essentially a lesser version of, what was it, Godwin's Law. All right? If you say that someone's evil because they have a different opinion, they're not going to share their opinion with you. Well, that's another reason. Bernie not winning the candidacy was also a reason why she lost, because a lot of the Bernie bros were like, yeah, no, we're not going to vote for you because you cheated, right? We don't like Trump either, but at least he won the nomination fair and square. So, we're going to go, at least we go with the thing that doesn't look as broken. And I don't care for Bernie, but at the very least, he's someone I can disagree with in a civil manner. I wouldn't be able to do that with Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, or Kamala Harris. You kidding me? Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris would look down at me and be like, nah. They would talk to me like a teacher would talk down to a misbehaving student. And I'm sorry, I've had enough of that in high school. And Trump just wouldn't listen. I mean, he's set in his ways. I'm not defending that in any way. But I think it'd be a lot easier to talk to Trump than it would have been to talk to Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton. If for no other reason than, I'm rereading that. But yeah, no, I need to go back and read what you said. But yeah, in regards to, people being too busy or whatever, there's something that I saw going around. I guess it was like, Like, how much do you care about this, this thing? It goes out from all the way to self to the universe or something like that. And they determine that conservatives are more likely to care about like themselves, immediate family, close, basically stuff that's a little bit more local, and liberals are more likely to care about stuff more outward, which is all fine and dandy. The issue is people were painting that as if conservatives are sociopaths, which is weird to me because caring about nothing about that screams sociopath. They just have more narrow. I wouldn't even say narrow-minded. They just have more they have a more narrow scope of concern, because that's what they see. That's what they're able to change. And I think that's usually the conservative mentality, is if it's something that they feel that they can change, they're gonna do it, right? Just like liberals think that they can change the world, and so that's why they believe what they do. And the problem is, you got both sides. Both of them are both points of view are completely valid, right? Let's say, for instance, I'm more conservatively minded. You're more liberal minded, right? I can take care of stuff at home, and then you can take care of stuff outward, and it works, right? I don't know why this is really an issue, because it seems like it'd be really easy to have those two mindsets balance each other out. So to work, right? Everything's better at home because the conservatives was working on that stuff, and everything's better abroad because the liberals fixing that, right? And of course there's going to be a little bit of back and forth, but that's how discussion, debate, and stuff like that work. But it circles back around to no one's mature enough to have that discussion anymore, because they're way too much in their feelings. It's going to be 2 jumps, I bet. 2 jumps, unless... Yeah, and see, that's the problem. Everyone's too extreme in one direction. And that doesn't work. And of course, you got people on both extremes that are basically taking a shit on the moderates. And I'm 100% a believer in the horseshoe theory, which is basically if you go too far from one direction to another, you go back to being authoritarian. And there are people that push against that, and everyone who pushes against that are in those extremes. Alright. I should be able to make that jump. Really? Okay, so I needed more jumpium. Let's try that. Since we're on the topic, backtracking to why I don't like Obama, he's the one who allowed. He could have vetoed a bill, and he didn't. It was a bill that would take away news networks' requirement to remain objective when they state the news. And of course, immediately after that happened, look what happens. Both, you got Fox News being, radical in one way. You have CNN being radical in another. And of course, the more I think about it, it was after 2013, 2014 that this split started to get so bad right? Because I remember in 2014, 2013, before that, I could have a civil discussion about something and not have it turn into ad hominem and, oh, you're a monster or whatever. But now it's just like you can't even have a different opinion before. And of course, and the thing that annoys me, it will always annoy me, is when I'll say it's just like, well, you don't like, you want to cut somebody off for having a different opinion, and then they'll say, no, it's not a different opinion, it's a difference of morals, and I'm like, that's quite literally your opinion, right? Unless we're talking about you know, someone who is advocating for, like, actually explicitly advocating for harm of certain, you know, the harm of someone, like the actual harm of someone, like, you know, killing, assaulting, what have you. Then anything outside of that is just opinion. And like I said, you know, the extremes, they're so extremes that anything outside of that bubble is basically seen as evil. And it's also incredibly reminiscent of kind of how people viewed Christians, right? And it's just like, you know, people walking door to door, it's just like, well, that was annoying. Like, what, like, if it was annoying when Christians did it, why isn't it annoying when, you know, other people do it? I might need to get some more water here in a little bit. I do need to fix my webcam so I can actually have my face up again. But see, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why you're one of my favorite people, Maggie, is because, like, yeah, we were probably on opposite ends of the spectrum, but we're still, you know, at least I feel that we're both mature enough to have a discussion and disagreement without calling each other names. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. There's a video, I need to find it. I think it's in my YouTube likes. I'm not sure if you've watched the show. It's called In a Nutshell, and I can't pronounce the channel name. It's like Jurgen. It sounds Scandinavian, but the show's In a Nutshell, and the guy they covered why social media is bad for us. And it was fascinating because it's not the usual reasons, right? Yeah, definitely. But so they determined that the reason why social media is actually bad for us isn't because of the way social media is designed, although they did say that was still technically part of it. It's because we're not, like, we as a species aren't ready for that kind of connection. Because if you really think about it, over the past 100, 200 years, we went from essentially physical contact for communication, mail, having to take weeks to even months for some sort of communication, to instant, right? We're having a conversation right now. Sure, we're I'm in Evan, and I think you're in Cleveland County or south of that somewhere, right? So what, maybe 50-60 mile difference? That's not too bad. But I can have a conversation with someone in the United Kingdom literally just seconds apart, and like the communication is just immediate. And I think our brains are still not ready for that, right? Because we're not ready to see the the world views, and that's why it's even the people that are more well traveled. That's why it's hard for humans as a whole on both sides to really communicate with that many people. I am going to step away for a minute because I need to get some more tea and maybe water because my throat's starting to hurt from talking so much. Be right back. All right, I'm back with tea and water. Tea because I need a little bit of the sugar, and water because, well, I need to be drinking water more. You know, it also just occurred to me you might be seeing ads. Let me see. Alright, appreciate the hydrate. Yeah, no, I mean, the whole being able to communicate with somebody on the other side of the world is, even though it is the norm now, it's still a bit of a mindfuck. Pardon my language. I have been trying to stay APG, but I'm talking about politics, and I'm not gonna shy away from that kind of stuff. All right. Yeah. No. Social media was one of those things. Always going to be one of those things that was going to be a double-edged sword. Right. There was going to be good as long as there was going to be bad. That's just the nature of it. Right. A lot of people think that social media is making everybody dumber. That's not the case. We're just able to see all the dumb stuff that was already there. Yeah, I just okay. For some reason it's not letting me know anymore whether or not the ads are about to pop up, so that's why well, I mean it is, but it's not doing it on OBS. It's doing it in the on the dashboard. All right. See if that updated. 200. All right. Let's see. What do I need? I forgot. All right. I need so maybe 5 more trips on that, and then I'll need a lot more with that one. Let's just go back to Saga because I know I can find what I need there. But yeah. Just me doing my space trucking, that's it. Well, in less controversial but still somehow controversial news, Pokemon Legends ZA or Zulu Alpha has been there's an actual full-on trailer now. I think it looks good, but you know, people are gonna tear it apart. They're gonna complain. I think the most annoying complaint is the fact. Well, so my complaint, and it's not really a complaint; it's a nitpick. Is that Chikorita? So the starters that you'll be able to pick from will be Tepig, Chikorita, and Totodile. I don't have a problem with any of those Pokemon. The only starters that I don't care for are the Gen 4 starters. But even then, I don't hate them. Someone's going to like those Pokemon. However, my little nitpick is there are 2 Gen 2 Pokemon from Johto, Chikorita and Totodile. Whereas the first one, it was a Gen 2, Gen 5, and a Gen 7 Pokemon. I was hoping there would be at least something from another generation. But it is what it is. If I were to pick which one of the Gen 2 starters had to go, I would probably pick Totodile. Don't get me wrong, I love Totodile. I actually like Totodile more than Chikorita. However, all of these Pokemon's inclusions will imply that they all get a new form, which basically means another, little bit of love. So I'm more than okay with Chikorita getting some love, because I think out of all the starters, I think she's considered, I say she because I believe most depictions of Chikorita is just a more feminine Pokemon anyways, generally. But Chikorita's... I had someone actually crest, oddly enough. We were discussing Pokemon, and the guy said, "You'd laugh at me if I told you my favorite Pokemon." I don't laugh at anybody for their favorite Pokemon. That's not something I do, right? You're like, there are Pokemon that I absolutely do not like Stunfisk, which looks like a fish that got ran over. Or a fish that got steamrolled, right? Which, it's fine. That's gonna be someone's favorite. And it's just not mine. But I'm also not gonna knock it, because I have opinions of what I think it looks like, and I leave it at that. But yeah, this guy is just like, you're gonna hate, like, you're gonna make fun of me for my favorite, and I'm like, no, I won't. He was just like, yeah, my favorite's Meganium, which is the fully evolved form of Chikorita, which I actually don't hate Meganium. Meganium's a pretty Pokemon. It's like a pretty flowery Brontosaurus. I think it looks adorable. It's not one that I would particularly use in a set, just because, like, when it comes to battling Pokemon, I don't know where I could use it. I could probably find ways to use it. I just haven't. I do believe I have him trained, or somewhere in my Pokemon boxes. I do have a trained Meganium, because I did train all the starters at some point. like hyper train, super train, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I've already made my choice. I'll be picking Tepig just because Tepig was my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. Which is funny because I think nobody else liked it. Like I said, I think the only Pokemon, the only starters that I didn't care for, like the two sets of starters I didn't care for. I don't care for the Gen 4 starters, and I don't care for the Gen 8 starters either. And like I said, I don't hate them. It's just they're, in my mind, I think they're the more, or the least interesting ones, both in design and usage. Yeah, well, I mean, there's actually a quote in the Pokemon games. It's from, oddly enough, her name is Karen. She's the, I'm not sure if you played Gold and Silver or Soul Silver and Heart Gold. She's the fourth member of the Elite Four before you fight Lance, and she uses Dark types. And she basically says, along the lines of, strong or weak Pokemon don't matter. You should be able to use whatever Pokemon you like and not have any issues. It's funny because it's probably the most true words spoken in regards to Pokemon ever. And people just are just ignoring it. Like I find myself, I love dragons to death, but outside of dragons, I find myself navigating towards dark and ghost types. No particular reason. Like, it's just for whatever reason, those Pokemon seem to, as far usually by design, usually strike my fancy the hardest. Like, I love dragon type Pokemon, but my favorite Pokemon is Houndoom. It's the one that looks like a Doberman with horns. Oh. Now, a lot of people crap on Scarlet and Violet for looking the way it did. And here's the thing about Scarlet and Violet: more often than not, you're not going to be looking at the background. Okay, you're going to be looking at everything that's like immediately in front of you. Which all the complaints that you hear don't basically tells me that most people that are playing the games, or they're complaining, don't understand how games and movies utilize perception. They utilize perception as a way to optimize how something looks, if that makes sense. You have squishies? I don't know why I'm honking. Or are you talking about plushies? You know what's funny? A lot of people would assume that the first Pokemon that I ever went with in Pokemon Red, one of the first big stuffed animals. Okay, that's fine. I figured that's what it was, but I just wanted to understand. When I started Pokemon Red back in back in '99, I went with Squirtle because I thought Blastoise was was the coolest looking thing ever. Turtle with freaking tank cannons, heck yeah. Don't get me wrong, I do love me a Charizard, right? Charizard is, usually if I play through Red or Blue, I start with I start with Charmander, right? Just because I love that challenge at the beginning of the game, right? Hydro, that's my naming wasn't that great when I was a kid. I was just like, oh, he learns Hydro Pump. I'm just gonna call him Hydro. That's it. That's the joke. Or I would name him. I would name something based off of like a military piece of equipment, right? I had a Beedrill that was named the F-18 because Hornet, I had a Pidgeot or whatever that was named A10. I did get better at naming though. I mean, you could probably guess that by by the names of my ships. The name of this ship is Kanaloa, which is a Polynesian sea god, essentially Polynesian Poseidon, for all intents and purposes. The first ship that I have in here, the first Sidewinder, I was intending to kind of stick with the naming scheme, but then I kind of, my brain's like, no, I'm gonna change that up. But my first Sidewinder, it's the ship that the game gives you. It's a really tiny ship, right? It's effective at what it does. I called it the Daily Sparrow as a parody to the Millennium Falcon. And I was planning on, like, the next ship after that was going to be the Weekly Mockingbird, and the one after that was going to be like the Monthly Condor, something like that. Heck, I have a ship on here. I named it's an Exploration Type 8, which is typically a trade ship, but I just wanted to do something different. It's named Me Wise Magic, which is a Van Halen song. Engines engaged. That's not it. Where is the... There it is. Saga. Saga! This is actually the newest ship that I've built. It's so the game recently last year they added pre-built ships, which is for real money, essentially real money, or the little blue currency at the under my little character screen. You can buy pre-built ships, which it gets you the ship and a certain configuration for the ship for the purpose that it's supposed to be built for. And it's supposed to be for like new players that want to get into the game, or people that are returning to the game and not really sure what to get back into. And so there's a build for this specific ship, the Type 9, And I didn't buy it because I mean I have 5 billion credits in this game. I don't need to use real money for it. What I did was I essentially built the same ship but upgraded. So everything that it has, but fully upgraded, fully engineered. I think there's the only major change I did to it was the lasers. The lasers the pre-built came with were pulse lasers, and I put beam lasers with thermal vent, which basically keep the ship cool during combat. And I might actually do that on a regular basis. I need to, yeah. Well, kinda. Oops, wrong button. I'll show you what the beam lasers do as soon as I get to a better spot. But yeah, let's see. Veachport. Target obscured. Well, let's pull you out of obscurity then. Yeah, go ahead and scoop this fuel. I mean, I'm not really saving much money. It's just might as well. And if you're wondering, I'm doing a little boost. It's the Super Cruise Overcharge, which basically puts a boost on the warp drive. It's basically, you know, Star Trek nonsense, right? And it just allows me to go faster. However, the ship uses more fuel, it heats up quicker, and you have less control. So it's definitely a double-edged sword. I use it more or less just to get out of gravity wells. Unless I'm using a ship that's better built for it. Yeah. Veachport. Okay, I only have the two. Okay. Cool. I have I have 2 lasers and 3 missile launchers on here, and it's more purely defensive. So far, what I've noticed that I can shoot, but I don't really have anything, like, I don't have enough to really destroy or to pursue, because this ship is slow. I think it's one of the slowest in the game, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it. You know, as long as I'm able to super cruise pretty quick, I don't really care about sublight speed. But because of that, I cannot pursue anybody that tries to yank me out of hyperspace and, you know, take my stuff. So I'm gonna... Okay. Alright. So so the pulse lasers, so these are beam lasers. It's just one continuous beam. That's really all it is. Just one continuous beam. As long as I have energy in the pips, then that's what it does. The pulse lasers are basically just pew 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 pew. And then you also have burst lasers, which are well, they're burst, right? So instead of one shot or one beam, It's just three beams in quick succession. Quick succession. Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's a big station. Got this? Yeah, this is the same one I've been going back and forth. Yeah, that's weird. And to be honest, I probably could shave. I could probably gain a few extra light years of jump range by lowering my armor grade, and B, just taking off my weapons, and that would also make me faster, sublight. But I do intend on using this for squadron convoys at some point. Ooh, excuse me. So, yeah, pretty much. Because I do have another one of these that that is strictly just cargo, right? It has like a little somewhere around. No, this one's 172, so it has 80 tons more cargo space, and that's also the main reason. Because it's like, okay, I sacrifice 80 tons, and then I can defend myself. Because that one also doesn't have shields. So, the shields are kind of necessary if you get yanked out of hyperspace. Not that I get... the only time I've ever gotten yanked out of hyperspace was against Thargoids. The aliens. The aliens! Landing complete. Let me actually check my thingamajigs. Only have 11,000, that's fine. Interesting. I'm not gonna do that. That's gonna fuck stuff up. Alright. Let's go ahead and prepare my jumpium. Mail slot. Alrighty. Should be good to go. Yeesh. I want to see something. So this thing doesn't even get up to 300, so 285 kilometers. There are race cars that can go faster than this ship. In sublight speed. It's 177 miles an hour for those who live in a country that has a flag on the moon. That's hilarious. Actually, the funny thing is these ships are actually not that fast. They go. I mean, obviously everything's by the metric system, but the yeah. Clock Cap, you're a little slow on that one, yo. Yeah. I really hope that I don't spend all this time delivering all this stuff and the game just like yanks it out from under me. Because that'll make me mad. I think that'll make a lot of people mad. I mean, I'm not too much time upset about the time wasted, because I'm slowly but surely getting my trade rank all the way up to Elite 5. I thought about leaving it at Elite 4 just for the Pokemon joke. That's me, by the way. There we go.
Docking request granted.
All right. Hey, look, another Type 9.
Landing gear deployed.
Is it? Interesting. Alright. Just transfer all. Just do that. Alright, brings us down to 1926. Oh, yeah, I guess we're just gonna do that. I was gonna.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
I need to check something when I come back to this port. I need to remember to do it. I keep thinking to do it, and then I forget once I park. 'Cause I'm so ready to fill up that steel, and then fill up that titanium.
Frameshift
I'm
drive.
gonna take a look at something while I'm jumping. Did you have another ad or no? I don't even know if there's an ad going on right now.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Okay. No, you're good. I get it. You get a kiddo to worry about, so. I'm just happy you stuck around and chat for a while.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Yeah. The only thing I'm nervous about is ooh, can I turn it here? I'm gonna have to do a loop of shame. I'm gonna have to do a loop of shame. Yep. Oh no, I won't. Okay.
Lincoln Kilo Yankee Romeo. This is the Flight Operations Department. Please comply with established docking procedures, Commander.
Whew. I almost had to do the loop of shame, and the loop of shame is when you miss your jump out point or your jump in point, and you have to basically. It's even worse than a Titan 9 because you know the thing is big and fat.
Position authorized. Adjust heading for approach to badge 40. You are clear for automated approach, Commander.
I swear the AI can gets more boost out of my ship than I can. Alright.
Docking restraints engaged.
You know. Gonna dunk you down real quick. I'm gonna dunk her down. Yeah, this is looking. Alright, see if I have that livery yet. Still not up, huh? Alright, well, poopy. What ships do you got for sale, huh? Huh, the Anaconda. Let me just buy another one of the. I'm just kidding. I've paid him a billion credits altogether. No. That's a no on the clock app. Oh yeah, okay. So I have everything I need. Let's just do the thing.
Ship release. Restrict speed until clear of the station perimeter. Allow for increased traffic flow in this sector, Commander.
Yeah. Start trekking across the universe. Only going forward because I can't find reverse.
Flight control signing off.
Got what? 3 more loads of steel left to go? Yeah, let me sit here doing the math. Let me do the math. 19, 6 minus 6, 5. Okay. So 3 more trips of that, huh? Should be 3 more, yeah. No, 2 more after this. I think. Go away. No touchy.
Heatsink deployed.
So you're gonna try and pull me over, huh? Yep. You know, what sucks is I can't pick up any of that because I don't have anything to do. That sucks. I probably could have used that. Oh well. So it works. Neat. I mean, it was also a Diamondback Explorer, I think it was. Well, I'll have to check the video. So I shouldn't be that proud, but at the same time, it's like I don't even know what level they were. I just know I got pulled over. I know I didn't feel like dealing with. I know I didn't feel like dealing with it, so I dealt with it. Oh, come on.
Docking request granted.
I think I got soap in my eye when I showered, and now it's irritating my eyes.
Gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
I keep forgetting that I have okay. So 2 more trips.
Gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna make the jumps as I go instead of using Jumpium. I don't need to be using all that. Hurry up and get away from the mast so I'm no longer mast locked.
Flight assist off. Flight assist. Frameshift drive charging.
Then we got however many pieces of titanium. Oh, I should probably take care of that. I started cooking my ship a little bit. Guess I should throttle up, huh? Oh, excuse me. Let's go disengaged. I love this this whole thing. Rebuy cost. That's like a whole tab for that. What? Please put more information, like your carrier stuff or whatever.
Lincoln Kilo Yankee Romeo. Please comply with flight regulations as you approach the station, Commander.
2-4.
Prep for arrival on landing pad.
Parking over on 2-4.
You are clear for automated approach, Commander.
That could also be allergies that's irritating my eyes too.
Contact. Dispatching ground crew.
Yeah. Why is that always the thing that wants to be difficult? Oh, looks like it's raining now.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Come on. Give me.
Landing gear retracted.
Landing coupler disengaged. Restrict speed until clear of the station perimeter.
She looks like she Let me actually take a look see at that real quick. I want to see if hang on a second. Alright, well, it's good to know that, certain people, a handful of people aren't the only ones having the issues.
Frameshift drive charging.
Speed restrictions are now lifted. Flight control out.
I want to also do a timer thing. So 582.
Fuel scoping. Fuel scope disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
So I'm gonna time myself to see how long it takes for me to do the things.
Heatsink deployed.
Yeah.
I know it's been a while since I met you. I know I'm in your arms. It all happened so fast. I fell in love. One look at your eyes. Baby, just tell me, am I dreaming now? Everything's going good 'cause you're around. Just tell me, are you staying by my side? Is this real or is it my mind? There's
Alright, so 2 more trips of steel, and then all that's left is titanium. And I might put a bunch of that on my carrier to avoid finishing.
Simply I'm lying in your mind, 'cause I think of you, playing all night. If like falling down, I'll catch you, yeah. Baby, just tell me, am I dreaming now? Everything's going good 'cause you're around. Baby, just tell me, are you staying by my side? Is this real or is it all night? Is this real?
Landing gear deployed. Landing gear retracted.
There we go.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Alright, so
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
Is it
what? Okay.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping.
What?
Fuel
Why'd that?
disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
The hell? So I am timing. I'm gonna have to take like a minute off that because of that loop of shame. But I am timing it, how long it takes for me to essentially grab a load and take it back to the shop. Because there is apparently someone glitching or exploiting something that allows them to, that's allowing them to essentially instantly insta-take a system. Like, so basically they set up the colony ship and immediately, like 10, maybe 30 minutes later, they have it done. And I'm already at 4 minutes, like I said, minus a minute. And this is just on the trip to get the stuff. This is not the way back. So, like, I don't think they're going to be legitimately doing that. Like, you would have to get... Because it's going to take... See, it's going to take me about 30 seconds to dock this thing.
Conflict established. Please approach the station at
Probably longer than that.
give way to larger vessels, Commander.
Yeah, 30 seconds. I'm already at 15. And I'm not even at the front of the thing.
Request approved. Set down on landing pad 2-4.
So, without auto dock, so take a minute and a half off, so I'm at 4.
2,000 meters from touchdown.
Okay. Oh, it was right there, okay.
Automated approach, Commander.
So, 6 minutes, so about what? 4.5 minutes?
Landing gear deployed.
Landing successful. Docking restraints engaged.
582? And
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
all right, then we all right.
Ship detach complete. Departure authorized.
All right, we're at 6 minutes.
Frameshift drive charging.
You are clear of the station. Safe travel.
3, 2, 1.
7 minutes. We're well, like I said, I'm taking a minute off for that loop of shame, and what was I thinking that? No, yeah, just a minute off. So I'm almost 8 minutes. Alright. Yeah, we're at 8 minutes. Maybe tack on another. Take a minute off because I'm doing it with Super Cruise Assist. So, however long it takes, I'm at 10 minutes. Or no, I'm at 9 minutes. Sorry. Alright. 10 minutes. 10 to 11. So I'll go ahead and take whatever it comes down to. I'm going to take off 2 minutes. One for that loop of shame, and 2 for the. Actually, yeah. Because the loop of shame probably wouldn't. So I might need to take 3 minutes off. See how long this takes.
Landing gear deployed.
May actually call it a day after this one. After this run, since I've topped off the steel. Mainly because I don't want to keep going until the ownership stuff is back.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Alright, so it took about 9 minutes to do all that. 9.5 minutes. Alright. So that means. Alright. That's interesting. Alright. Alright. Let's see if there's anybody that I want to send the purple app guys to. Yeah. That's fine. No raid today. Alright, guys. So, what? Oh. I'm reading someone else's chat thinking I'm reading mine. Alright, so... Yeah, that was weird. Not sure when I'll stream next, but this weekend's gonna be kind of a weird weekend. So probably not this weekend, but maybe next Monday or Tuesday, depending on what's going on. Hopefully the shenanigans around Trailblazers will be sorted out. I don't know if that's what I'll be playing, but probably just assume for the moment that I will be. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful night. Take care of each other, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.